watching her grandchildren as her daughter and her husband are in the military. One is in Korea and one is in Washington.
Yeah.
So Nancy needs to be present to watch those kids. So she is here via electronic means, and the only people in there with her are her grandchildren. So let the record record that she is here by electronic means.
Katie Jeff,
Here.
John Covey,
Here.
Melissa Smith.
Present. Could you all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you have in front of you the previous minutes from October 16th. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Rob Crew,
Aye.
Nancy Hopper,
Aye.
Katie Jeff, John Covey,
Aye.
Melissa Smith.
Aye. Next in front of you, we have the agenda. What is the pleasure of the board?
Agenda is presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Rob Crew,
Aye.
Nancy Hopper,
Aye.
Katie Jeff, John Covey,
Aye.
Melissa Smith.
Aye. Next, we have special presentations. First up, we have Fort Morgan High School Senate presentation.
Good evening. We have with us two seniors that are going to talk to you a little bit about some different things they've been doing in Leadership in Action, Student Senate. It used to be called Student Senate, then it switched to Leadership in Action, but now it's kind of back to Student Senate. But I'll let them introduce themselves and then tell you a little bit about what they're doing.
Hello, my name is Elsie Kudrin. Like Clint said, I'm a senior. So we've been working on a couple of projects at the high school. One of our first projects is the school pantry. So we've been working on this for a couple years now. It's still kind of getting started, but it's funded by Kids at Their Best. And we go and get our orders from Walmart once every couple weeks, and we restock. So we have like a variety of foods for meals and snacks and ingredients. So we have like a lot of sauces and noodles or whatever you might need, and we have hygienic products as well. So you're also allowed to like write recommendations. So if you need anything or if you have anything you think the pantry needs, you're welcome to write that down and we'll buy it. And then we also are organizing a clothing drive. So this has been fairly new for us. We have like set it up in one of our back rooms. And it's just funded like all through donations from anyone in the school, and anyone's welcome to come in and grab whatever they need. With that, we're also doing a coat drive, so that's also through donations. We're just getting started because we're just getting into winter, but it's looking good so far. And then we are not able to do our usual annual like Thanksgiving dinner because our teacher will be gone. So we are making like big Thanksgiving boxes instead. So we'll have like 2 boxes sent out to each family at every school in the district. So we're working on that right now. We'll have like a turkey in there, ingredients for like casseroles and mashed potatoes and pie. So yeah, that's something that we'll be doing this upcoming week.
Hi, my name is Gabriel De Leon, and I am also a senior, and I'm a member of Student Senate. One of the things that we've been doing in Student Senate has been the Wall of Fame, and if you're not familiar with the Wall of Fame, the Wall of Fame is basically students who have attended FMHS that have been an all-state in one of their sports, and we normally have their picture the year that they attended FMHS, as well as the sport that they got all conference in. And it's been a very long process for Student Senate to do. I heard that when our teacher was in there, Kyla Carpenter, it was still a project being like processed, and it still is right now. We're almost at the end of it, and it's basically we've just been pulling up old pictures putting them up there and then getting their names engraved in the plates, and then just getting all of our information correct from I think as far as back as 1944. So it's been a hefty process, and we've also we also have been doing the school improvement project, and the school improvement project I have been a part of that project, and it's basically 6 of us right now, and we've been going around school and trying to find places to improve. There's being talks of like having a Mustang sculpture around the school, hopefully by the end of this year, or at least we'll have like a design of it. And we're basically just trying to improve our school and have like good visuals, as well as like we have feedback from students, and we try to see what they think should be added at the school, and just really trying to improve our school and making it the best possible for our students. And that's all we have.
A quick question. You said that the Hall of Fame for sports. Is there any academic Hall of Fame that may be coming, like the Fetcher winners?
As far as I know,
So there are different points in the library that have our previous Fetcher Scholar winners, and I think Ted Clark Scholar, Award winners are in there. There's different plaques in the library that is for our academics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Next on the schedule, we have the dual immersion program presentation.
Come on. No, Simone's got to stand up for you.
You want everybody to come up?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
Okay, so I'm Simone Garvin. I'm the principal at Columbine, and I'm representing the elementary part of the dual language program.
shout out, Ryan.
Middle school.
So I made a little some notes for myself. So just to start with introducing the teachers. First grade, we have Tim Gonzalez, and then her partner teacher is Sophia Saravia, who's not here. And teaching second grade, we have Adriana Villalobos, and her partner teacher is Shannon Lilly. Third grade, Wendy Molina and Audrey Walter. Fourth grade, Patty Arias and Blanca Vasquez. And fifth grade, Erin Krall and Lorena Pradon. Just to give a little summary of the program, some of you were on the board when we started this. We are in the 7th year of this program. Can you guys hear me? So I can talk better. We have a 50-50 model. There's like a lot of different models that you could choose from. That's just like the percentage of the day that's in each language. So like 90-10 is what the Denver Language School does. There's 70-30. There's all kinds of models. We chose 50-50 originally because of the number of English language learners and Spanish language learners in the program, so everybody has the opportunity to learn the language. And so it's a two-way programming, which means that the students can learn from their teacher and from the other students in the class, both the native English speakers and the native Spanish speakers. The goal is proficiency in both English and Spanish when they lead, and cross-cultural understanding also. We have strong enrollment. You can see COVID took a hit in dual language. The 6th grade and the 5th grade really took a big hit. A lot of people stayed home, and then they stayed home and homeschooled, or when they came back, did not come back into the program because they had lost too much Spanish. Our 4th grade is nearly full, and then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st are at 50, which is where we're capped, and we have students on the wait list for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades. We took our very first STAMP test last spring, and so we were kind of nervous to see about this. So this test, the 4 domains of learning any language are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And so you can see the scores, and I'll talk about what these scores mean here in just a second. Just to give some context, this was the first time any of these kids had taken any of this test. It's completely on the computer. Speaking is the lowest, which is appropriate, but also partly because they were talking into their Chromebooks. When you're learning any language, receptive language comes before expressive language, which makes sense. It's easier to like hear and understand or read and understand than it is to like think of the words yourself and conjugate the verb to make the sentence. So you would expect the listening scores to be the highest, and then reading, and then writing and speaking. So if you go to the next slide, we use the ACTFL proficiency standards. I don't even know what that stands for. Something test for foreign language.
American
And this is
household.
like the ratings. It's an international rating system, so any person can be assessed at their language acquisition level. And the state of Utah so kindly put the grades with the levels where they should be based on a 50-50 model. So I highlighted where we are at the end of 5th grade last spring. So you can see our listening is on target, our speaking is a little bit low, our reading is a little bit high, and our writing is on target. We felt really good about these tests, especially after, like I mentioned, COVID was hard for this group. This group that took it missed the 4th quarter of 2nd grade, and then the 1st semester of 3rd grade was the weird like hybrid, so they lost a lot of Spanish. We had to do a lot of work to regain. That I think was the hardest academic thing to recover. So we did some professional development this year. We went, some of us went to the DLI Leadership Academy in the summer. Kathy Duran from the Denver Language School came and provided some PD for the whole team in September, and then the teachers all visited the Denver Language School in the last couple of months. And as a result of all of that and the data, we decided to focus on oral language development in both Spanish and in English, like as our focus for the year. So we're working on students speaking incomplete sentences whenever they answer, working on developing vocabulary and grammar, and making sure that we don't translate into their native language. Because it's easy for them to say, like, what does this mean? And you just tell them in their language, and instead we're like, we have to use more words to tell them. So we have a quick video right here of some kids speaking Spanish. Then we have 2 students who are here who want to speak to you a little bit in Spanish. I hope the sound works.
¿Qué pasa? Tendré ratones para hacer pequeño y me abrazó.
¿Quién me puede traducir ese? ¿Quién me lo puede traducir? A ver, eso, dime uno. Uno. ¿Cómo se dice? Fly, es fly. Alex, dígame otro. ¿Quién? Kyla, pero Kyla también es C. Cheryl, dime uno, Alan. Naomi, que es el personaje principal. Dime uno, James. Owen. Y dime uno, Billy. Abuelita. Además, aparecieron otros 2 personajes nuevos de la historia. ¿Cuáles están ahí? Fabiola y Bernardo. Entonces, Fabiola y Bernardo son los que. El nombre, pero no está él, así que él hasta ahora no es un personaje. ¿Qué pasó?
Por la alegría de la pequeña ventana vi a abuelita dando las plantas de arete para que crecían a un lado. Llegamos las razones tratando de no hacer ruido y salimos afuera a sentarnos en la zona bajo el toldo de la luz.
Sigue, Jasmine.
Here we have Isabella Colon, who's in 4th grade, and Billy Conti in 5th grade.
Hola, mi nombre es Billy y estoy de quinto grado. Estoy en el programa de doble inmersión de la Escuela Columbine. Llevo en el programa de 5 años. Me gusta este programa porque tiene un buen impacto en uno de mis deportes. Cuando yo empecé a jugar fútbol no podía interactuar con mis compañeros de equipo, pero cuando empecé a estudiar español pude comunicarme mejor con ellos. Ahora es más fácil comunicarme. Este programa no solo tiene un impacto en mi vida dentro de la escuela, sino también en mi vida fuera de la escuela.
Wow.
Mi nombre es Isabela y me gusta el programa porque yo me puedo decir cosas a mis compañeros que no entienden y es más fácil para todos aprender los dos idiomas.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Now everybody will stand.
So at the middle school, we're in our second year of the DLI program, and so now we have 7th graders. And so I have Noelia Araya here. Okay. And then Itza Marie Paris. They're our two dual immersion teachers. And I will let you take it.
Hi, I'd like to meet you all. My name is Ita Marie Paris. I am from Puerto Rico. This is my 8th year working for Morgan Middle School, and it's my 2nd year teaching DLI. I am the 6th grader teacher, and I also teach elective 7th and 8th.
So good evening, my name is Noelia Araya. I am from Costa Rica. This is my first year here. I had a lot of expectations of the program because it's something new in my country. I teach English. And when I listened to the kids that they really can communicate, it was so good. And I know that I have to work with them hard. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about it on grammar and pronunciation and little things, but it's great to know that they can communicate. Of course, it's a process and they're not going to be able now, but they're going to be able to be more competent in the future with the tools that we're going to provide it. So I feel so excited, and we create a presentation and we want to share with you.
Okay, good. So I will not read the everything that is there. I just want to highlight it that we received those gifts with open hands. I received them with happiness and under Mr. Frasco's support and Rina last year, and we start from scratch. Start from scratch because it was the first year for them in the middle school. So there's always room to grow, and we know that we're working on very hard to give them the best that we can, a really strong curriculum with rigor and relevance that they deserve. Because I teaching them, I don't have to speak English at all in my classroom. So they come with a really extraordinary good foundation. But we need to work more on that foundation and also build vocabulary word and get the complex of the academic language and everything that they need to keep going and to be at the end, that is the end of the road will be to be bilingual and biliterate. So we are very excited. So my commitment is to enhance and accelerate their learning and language acquisition in Spanish, and also to keep building a really strong curriculum for them so that when they graduate from 8th grade and go to the high school, they really could keep going with the AP classes and keep going with everything that they could offer on the high school. But we are in a good track. They are in a good track, and it's incredible how the program impacts other classes like English and math, that the data show how they grow and how to be bilingual impact them to be better than the ones that are monolingual. So that's the exciting thing about this program.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yes, okay, so in the program goals, we think that it's really important as a team to nurture the primary language in order to that they become also biliterate, yes, and create cross-linguistic connection between English and Spanish to acquire academic concepts. Also, we believe that it's really important to give them the tools in order to be competent when they get to high school, and not just to teach them the language, also to teach them to be responsible global citizens. And also to value the students' culture that they sometimes, well, when they are at middle school, bullying exists, so we try that they be familiar with others and that they love that it is good to have different races, yes, in the school. Foster the linguistic, academic, and emotional needs in order to prepare them for the future and create meaningful partnerships with parents, families, and community. So our goal, as my mentor said, is to try to that they become proficient in the second language and that they be improved aspects as grammar, reading, and yes, that they.
And you could see where the Columbine show you the data about the reading. Yes, it's the weakest part here, but it's not only you already mentioned Spanish, it's because it's correlated to the English part too. So we're working on reading comprehension skills. That one of my focuses is grammar, more complex grammar, so they could speak better pronunciation and better comprehension of the language, and improve their reading language, their reading comprehension skills.
And so I think like one of the concerns with any parent enrolling them in this new founded program in the district was at what cost, right? And so we have a small limited set of data with that pioneer group coming, not pioneer, but the pioneering group coming through, as they are the one that are the kind of guinea pigs of the program each and every year as it expands. And so we took our NWA data through, and we kind of took them as a cohort. And if you look at NWA data, it's all based off percentiles, which is designed for like the 50 percentile mark. So like when we say percentage of students who met or exceeded their projected RIT score, they set those scores so that nationwide, 50% of those kids are meeting it, and 50% of those kids are not meeting it. That's how they kind of find that midpoint, right? And so we're really proud of our group of DLI kids. With math, they were at 51% of the students met their projected RIT score, meaning they made the growth that they should in 1 year. 66% in reading, 49% in language arts, and 69% in science. And so the big thing for us was they had to exchange one of their English classes, because at the middle school we do a reading class and a writing class. And so we combine that into English, and now they do a Spanish one also. And so that's kind of the trade-off for them. And so we are still seeing the growth that we're expected to get, because this is a nation data nationwide. And so we are getting the growth that we want in the English piece, along with growth in the Spanish also, okay? Our Spanish numbers were a little bit lower, but we go from a 50-50 model to a 2-hour model at the middle school to make our things work. And so we've been really creative with the scheduling. If you look at medium conditional growth percentiles, it really represents our school pretty close. Math, we were at the 47th percentile, meaning that nationwide, again, our kids were in that group were scoring at about the 47th percentile. Reading was at 58 percentile, language arts 44 percentile, and science 66 percentile. And so we were very pleased with the growth that we saw with these students across the board, which was definitely a concern as we were making our schedule and switching things in and out.
I celebrate I think this is my 4th year celebrating the spelling bee in Spanish. But last year I incorporated the DLI kids. So as you expect, they were the winners, okay? So my relative go, well, but they were close, 4th, 5th. But DLI, well, obviously, they rock. But I will keep going. We will keep doing the spelling bee. also we incorporated this year to have a meeting with the parent, to receive the parent so they can know how everything works in the middle school because it's totally different. And to let them know that it's hard for the kids because they need to comply with everything that is related to the DLI plus everything related with the other side of their core subjects. So they really have to be very organized, they don't have the power class to work on assignments, so they have to have that study skills, habits, and everything to be successful. So I'm glad to have them participate now in the spelling bee program, and hopefully this year I could take them to the Colorado because everything with the pandemic and everything, it was a mess. So this year, hopefully, I could turn one of them to go to the Colorado Spanish spelling bee. Okay, and we have a video also. It's a very short video of activities that we do during this year so far. And I want to say thank you for all the support, for Mr. Frasco, Chad, Rina, Kathy Duran, because they help us to make the program succeed and to have that alignment that we need to get them ready for when they go to the high school.
She's working on that. One thing I want to say is like, when we went to the DLI conference as a group, there was a bunch of us that were able to attend. Like, I didn't realize how new DLI is in Colorado. And when we were looking for ideas of how to run our middle school, people were like, what do you guys do? And because it just, a lot of schools stop at the 5th grade and they don't continue the program. And so I'm very proud that these ladies have been able to make it work and fit into our schedule and continue that.
I'll mention one other thing. I mean, the school that's not represented tonight is Sherman. I did not think it was real fair when we just launched kindergarten to ask them to come and just talk about their progress, but it's going well. So Mel Ponce teaches the Spanish classroom. Carrie Christensen teaches the English classroom. And both of those ladies and Tara were able to come with us to the Dual Language Immersion Leadership Academy. It was like the first annual. Kathy Duran, who we've been working with as a consultant, put it on. It was well represented by dual immersion schools across Colorado, but we do realize that we're almost in this dual immersion desert. With lots of work, I think there's some passion at the state level to try to push some things, maybe like Utah. I don't know. I'm super passionate about it myself, but things are going well at Sherman. We only waitlisted. Originally, we only had waitlisted one student. We wanted 1st grade to have another entry point. As I met with Columbine teachers last week, I'm like, there are 5 spots for 1st grade because they're at 45 kids in kindergarten. So we're just gonna keep moving forward, and it's gonna be crazy how fast we get to high school. We've got one more planning year, and as you saw the students who spoke to you, they're going to be ready and then some for AP and minors in Spanish by the time they finish high school. So we've got to make sure we're ready. But I wanted to make sure that this was a perfect opportunity for a board meeting, as I know, like, some of you, again, you were here and you adopted the program. And so we're super excited where we're at. Can you not get it to work, Beth? So maybe if we resend it, I would love to send it to the board to highlight. So kind of keeping that spotlight on dual immersion. But these people, these dual immersion, this team is incredible to work with. And I'm super happy that I get to work with them and get feedback and keep growing the program. So thank you for all attending.
Welcome.
I have your attention. There's one thing we're doing UIPs today. We're at the beginning. We did run our first month of challenge of Zern, and our kids completed 1,860 lessons this last month on Zern, which is a good number. But so that was one of my goals, to try to get more kids active, and so we were able to do that. So moving in the right direction. So, yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
we have an opportunity for audience, if there's anyone who has any public comment. We have reports. First up, our Fort Lauderdale High School Student Representative, Kenya.
Hi. So things are winding down from fall, and we're kind of going into winter, which we can all tell with the time change, I feel like. So as far as sports go, the biggest thing that has happened the past couple weeks is that all of the girls on the gymnastics team made it to state. So all 4 girls made it to state and competed on Friday. And we had our send-off on Friday, so that was really exciting for them. With that being said, all fall sports are officially over, and winter sports are kind of, open gyms are starting, and so we're kind of getting into the middle of that. And then all the winter sports are girls and boys wrestling and basketball. And then I'm sure you guys all know it, but I know that the soccer field, like that first stage being done is really exciting, and I've heard a lot of really good things about that. So I'm really very excited about that being done. Other than that, it happened this past weekend, and I think it was a great turnout. I know that they had a lot more people than they anticipated, and if you went and saw it, I think they did a really good job, and the set was amazing. Justin is coming to talk to the sophomore class tomorrow about class rings. There is a driver's ed class going on at the high school. Talent show auditions will be on the 30th of November, so kind of getting into that. And another thing to kind of highlight is that Kids at Their Best has had a job fair table during lunch for the past couple of weeks, and it will continue going on throughout the month for a couple of weeks. And then finally, FCCLA has their craft show this Saturday, the 11th. And so if anybody gets a chance, please go out and support FCCLA. And I'm sure, as you all know, Thanksgiving break is coming for the 19th. So that's all the reports I have. You're welcome.
Does anyone else on the board have a report? Because I do, I'm going to do an addendum to Kenya's report. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a Coca-Cola Scholars Program, of which there are 103,800 students that applied for this. Only 1,514 have been selected as semifinalists, which I did the math earlier, and it's like 1.5%, 1.49 or something like that. And this is based on their academic excellence, leadership, and service, demonstrating school community activities, which I think is a phenomenal set of qualities to see in someone. These semifinalists will go on to apply and hopefully receive a $20,000 college scholarship, of which 20 were selected, 150 or something like that. And the reason that I am bringing this up, and the reason that Kenya probably didn't want to do it herself, is that we have a semifinalist. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Congratulations, and we wish you the best. Very well. Okay, after all that, Mr. Sanders, superintendent report, please.
Congratulations, that's outstanding. First of all, I wanted to let you know that I'm finally, after a year, going to go attend the Capture Kids Heart training. I'll be directly after the meeting tonight. I'm going to be gone the next 2 days in Colorado Springs. Unfortunately, I miss out on one of our trainers, Mark Hatchell, coming down on Wednesday and spend a day in the district. And I always enjoy when he comes, but I will be down in the Springs learning all about Captain Kids Hearts finally. And then the other thing I want to talk about was the action plans that we were talking about for the board goals that you're going to hopefully adopt tonight. We got together last week, I believe it was, where we sat down as an admin team. We started to hash out some different things to get some board action plans put together. They're going to address each one of the bullets that we have on those. And so we're in the process of putting those together. I have them in my office right now, and we're getting ready to put those on the action plan.
Next up, we have Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Assessment,
spend a lot of time talking about dual immersion in our unified improvement plan, so I'll keep it short. You have an action item tonight. We had additions to the social studies adoption committee, including 4 parents and another middle school teacher. The process is actually going really well. We've got all the samples in. Bless my admin assistant for unboxing all of the crazy things that these companies send you. But we have distributed all of the samples. We've had our 3rd meeting with teachers, and the goal would be by a little earlier this year, by like February, to come in front of the board for adoption of materials, just because of shipping, purchasing, all of those things that we've recognized. The pandemic hasn't done good things for these vendors on getting things to us in a timely manner. So the teachers seem pretty excited about the samples. One of the most challenging pieces of the whole, of any curriculum work that we do, or for me at least, is, so dual immersion is so awesome. Finding materials, when like Blanca's teaching 4th grade Colorado history, you have to find a 4th grade Colorado history book in Spanish. And so anyway, we've kind of worked out a few things there, but trying to make sure that teachers are trying some of those materials like we've done in the past. We do have a rubric that we're using to analyze bias and things in the materials. And so I'm pretty excited about how this one has been going. Questions for me? Oh, and so the parents are like they won't be piloting the materials obviously in the classroom, and just so like, but we all will come back as a committee, as kind of a subcommittee, and look at those materials.
Thank you. Next up, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. Prescott.
Good evening. You have the personal action form, my personal action form in front of you, so if there's any questions, please let me know. I just want to highlight we have a couple staff members in the district office who are officially retiring, which is myself and Bob Altavar. So a good time in their life. We appreciate the time they give to our district. Other things on my list, we're still sitting pretty standard or consistent with our openings. We do have 2 certified openings at this point. One is a mid-year kind of resignation for high school science that we'll be trying to fill and have a couple lines there. Have 6 classified openings, coaching 4. So pretty standard where we've been the last few months. Employee contracts, part of my self-imposed audit is we're looking at employee contracts, and we have sent those off to our legal counsel for some recommendations, and we'll be putting those in front of you guys for review and ultimately acceptance throughout the year. So we have some suggestions there and some potential other contracts that we might ask you to consider. And the last thing that isn't on my list is I attended the UNC Job Fair on Thursday last week, and unfortunately we kind of continue to see the downfall in the job fairs and the turnouts. Probably about as third of many tables or districts attending as last year for the fall fair. Maybe 10 to 12 candidates in the room to see those schools, of which we have 5 stop by. We have 1 potential interview set up for a mid-year science graduate who is going to be in high school tomorrow. So that's all I have for me. If you have questions.
Moving on to our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Miller.
Good evening. I'm going to give you an update on where we're at with our audit progress. We are making some really good strides with having a clean general ledger to send to the auditors. I'm hoping to have that to them maybe in a week, week and a half. With the illnesses in our department, it's kind of slowed us down. And so in your action items, we are going to apply for a 60-day extension to file the audit, which would be, the date would be February 29th this coming year. I don't believe we'll have a problem meeting that, certainly. I've already spoken to the auditors, and they're in agreement that it would be best to go ahead and do the extension. They'll finish up the field work in January, and then they can issue the report after they finish all of that. Just to piggyback off of what Jason said about the employees that are retiring, both fall in my department. So Bob Baltazar has been here 16 years. we're gonna have a little celebration for them on Friday. What do you call it, Bonfest? And then Joyce Von Felt has been with the district for 34 years, and she's gonna be coming back on a 140 so that she can sit with the person that is replacing her and formally train, because there's a lot of moving parts to her job. So anyway, they, you know, two very long-term people are leaving, and it's gonna be great. Any questions?
Okay, next up, we have discussion items. We have the Board of Education district goals. Anybody want to say anything about those or discuss that now? Vote on them or a little bit later in the action items.
Melissa,
Yes.
I would just like to say that I really appreciate the process. I thought it was very good and having the time to sit down and go through it and discuss. I thought we did a great job of putting those goals together. It's something that we felt proud of. Thank you.
I'm not sure if everyone heard Nancy, but she said that we should be proud of ourselves. And she's pleased with the process and how we did that, and I could not agree more. We did awesome. It was a good process. And we all are still talking to each other at the end of it, so. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. You have in front of you the personnel action report and list of checks for August and September 2023. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown? Aye. Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Following on to action items. Action item A, additions to the social studies adoption curriculum committee. What is the pleasure of the board? We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown?
Aye.
Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Action item B is the audit extension. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown? Aye. Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Action item C, Fort Morgan High School overnight trip to Colorado State University Pueblo. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have just a couple of motions and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris Brown? Aye. Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Action item D is donation of riparian trailer. What is the motion of the board? What is the pleasure of the board?
To approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I know I have a question. It says under justification ramifications, it would be another tool for the ag shop, but I just want to make sure because this sounds like super cool. Are other students besides ag students going to be able to use it?
It was donated to the ag program.
Okay.
But it would be part of anyone enrolled in one of the ag classes.
Okay. Pleasure, hopefully, we already did that. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown? Aye. Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Action item E, Board of Education District Goals. With the pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'll just echo what Nancy said. It was a good process. I think the goals are comforting. We have to find.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown? Aye. Rob Bruce?
Aye.
Nancy Hopper?
Aye.
Katie Jeffs? Aye. John Gotti?
Aye.
Melissa Smith?
Aye. Next up, you have 4 newsletters in front of you from Baker, Columbine, Green Acres, and election is November 7th, 2023, which would be tomorrow. Thanksgiving lunch is at Fort Morgan Middle School on November 16th, 2023. There is no school the week of November 20th through 24th, 2023, as Kim already told us. The reorganization special board meeting will be at 7 p.m. on Monday, November 27th, 2023, with an asterisk that if that election is not certified until November 29th, the special board reorganization meeting will be delayed until Thursday, November 30th, 2023. The December Board of Education meeting is December 11th, 2023. Christmas lunch will be at Columbine Elementary School on Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. And if there is nothing else to come before this board, it is 7:47 p.m. and